Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Dakota and I am a mindfulness-based art therapist. On this channel, we explore reflective art practices you can do on your own time to better understand yourself and reconnect with your inner experience. For today's session, you might want a piece of paper or a journal, anything, something to draw or color with. And just as a reminder, before we begin, this isn't about artistic skill. In this space, there are no mistakes in art. Nothing needs to look a certain way. The right way is the way that feels true to your experience. Your page might look completely different than mine, and that's exactly how it should be. Let's start by arriving together. If it feels comfortable, place your feet on the floor and bring your attention to your breath. We'll take 3 slow breaths together. The first breath, acknowledging wherever you were before you pressed play. The second breath, acknowledging where you are now. And the third breath, acknowledging your intention, your strength to arrive here and spend some time focusing on yourself. Very nice. So, you might notice that there are moments in life when we want to help ourselves or someone else, but we can't find the right action, the right words, or the right solution. And in these moments, it's very common to feel powerless. But even when we can't fix something, we still have something meaningful to offer. We have our attention, our empathy, our presence, our inner goodness. Today's practice is inspired by a mindfulness meditation called Tonglen, a compassion practice that loosely translates to taking in suffering and sending out compassion. You might be thinking, Dakota, I have enough suffering. I do not need to be taking any more in. I feel you, and I also ask that you trust me as we explore this idea today through breath and art. As we create today, we'll also be working with symbols. Symbols can be anything. A shape, a color, a line, a simple image from your memory. It doesn't have to even make logical sense. It only has to be connected to your experience. If you have your paper ready, I want to just fill you in. So for this practice, we're going to be creating 3 areas on the page. You can divide this page with lines or folds, or just imagine them there. They don't need to be perfectly even either. One area on top or bottom is going to be for powerlessness. So that feeling of not having power. Another space apart from the powerlessness space is going to be for that feeling of being empowered or feeling powerful. And for now, we're going to leave that open space in between. We'll come back to that later. And so let's go ahead and start with the area for powerlessness. As you begin looking at colors or placing marks on the page, you might ask yourself, what does powerlessness feel like in my body or my mind? If that feeling had a color, a texture, shape, an image, what might it be? Maybe a specific memory comes up, a sensation, and you can note that simply. But just start drawing whatever comes to mind. I'll draw along with you. Notice what your hand naturally wants to do. You might move more slowly or quickly, or layer colors. There's no right way. Your page might look completely different than mine, and that's part of the process. If you need more time on this, just press pause and come back. But for now, we're going to move to the area that represents power. And when I say power, I don't necessarily mean having control over everything in life, but the part of you that contains strength, care, dignity, and goodness. As you draw, you might wonder, what does inner strength feel like for me? What colors or shapes feel steady, warm, supportive? Is there maybe a specific symbol that represents this, or do I want to stay more abstract? Everything is welcome. Okay. If you're still working, just contemplate. Does the symbol of power feel big and clear? Sometimes it might feel quiet or subtle. Both are completely okay. And for now, we're going to leave that middle space open. We'll return to it after our breathing practice. If you need time, take it. But once you feel complete, or complete for now, we're going to take a moment to engage in a mindfulness practice that relates to this idea. A simple compassion meditation inspired by Tonglen. You're welcome to close your eyes for this part, or simply soften your gaze. Take a slow breath in. As you inhale, take a slow breath in. As you inhale, imagine breathing in a soft gray mist. Breathing in, this gray mist represents suffering, your own pain, your own struggle, and the suffering that people everywhere experience. As you breathe it in, you can see on my face, you might notice some resistance. That's okay. You are not being asked to solve this pain. You are not being asked to carry it forever. You are simply allowing yourself to acknowledge that suffering exists. Take another slow breath in. Breathing in the gray mist, noticing it, making space for it. And as you breathe out, we're going to imagine now a warm golden light beginning in the center of your chest. This golden light represents compassion, care, and healing. as you exhale, imagine that golden light moving outward from your heart. As you breathe in and it meets the gray mist, notice that the golden light is not weakened by the suffering. It is not contaminated by it, not overcome. The golden light is steady, warm, and powerful. So powerful that it begins to transform the gray mist. Breathing in that gray mist. And as you exhale, you notice the golden light is starting to impact it. Not take it over, but transform it. Little by little, the heaviness softens. The gray begins to glow. What once felt dense or painful begins to shift into a golden mist. Not because the suffering never mattered, but because compassion has touched it. In Tonglen, there is a recognition that acknowledging suffering with an open heart has a transformative quality. Each inhale says, I see that pain exists. Each exhale says, may compassion meet it here. Take one more slow breath in. And one long breath out. And when you're ready, gently return your attention to the space around you. Gently bring your attention back to your drawing. Take a minute to look at the symbol you created for powerlessness. And then look at the symbol that you created for power. Notice them both without needing either one to change. Now, bring your attention to the open space between them. This is the space we left open earlier. And this space, it's not about fixing powerlessness. It's not about covering it up. And it's not about forcing yourself to feel powerful. Instead, this space can become a place of relationship. A place where powerlessness and power can both be acknowledged. A place where suffering and compassion can live beside one another. Using lines, colors, shapes, simple marks, begin to work in this open space. You might let something from the power symbol move gently toward the powerless symbol. Maybe the two symbols stay separate, but something compassionate appears between them. Let your hand move in whatever way feels right, and just see how these two ideas interact with one another. As you draw, you might ask, what helps both of these parts to live on the same page? What kind of space is needed between them, if any? Does power need to move closer? Does powerlessness need some protection of some kind? Does the middle space need softness, structure, distance, warmth? Your powerless symbol does not have to transform into something beautiful. And your power symbol does not have to rescue it. The value is in noticing what kind of relationship wants to happen between them. Maybe they touch, maybe they stay apart, maybe something new appears. Whatever happens, just let it be honest. Take a minute to look at your whole page, your symbol of powerlessness, your symbol of power, and the third space where they begin to relate. You might gently reflect. What stands out to me? What happened in the space between powerlessness and power? Did anything, any color or texture or shape move towards the other? What does compassion look like on my page? Is there a way that these two experiences can live together without either one disappearing? If you'd like to add a few words to your page or your journal, you might complete one of these sentences. Something I noticed while doing this practice was when I offered compassion, it felt like the space between powerlessness and power looked like one small way I can offer kindness to myself or others is. Before we finish, let's take one more slow breath. The topic of power and powerlessness can be quite intense, but I invite you to notice how you feel now compared to when we began. Remember that nothing on your page needed to be perfect. In reflective art, the goal isn't creating a pretty or a right image. It's allowing your experience to appear honestly. And that's something only you can do. If you feel comfortable sharing, I'd love to hear about your experience in the comments. You might share something simple like what colors or symbols showed up for you today, or what happened in the space between powerlessness and power. And if you enjoy reflective creative practices like this, you're welcome to subscribe for more sessions like this one. Thank you guys so much for spending this time creating with me. I'll see you in the next one.